Welcome, everybody, to another episode 5 of the Pair Theory podcast here on YouTube or from wherever you're listening from. My name is Justin Ross, and with you, as always, Mr. Craig Youngblood with Western Soul Photography. This show is brought to you by absolutely nobody. We're looking for sponsors, and if you want to be a sponsor, hit us up in the comments below, and we will do your commercial for you. We happen to do film. We happen to do things.
I was trying to find a Liquid Death can.
Yeah, come on, Liquid Death. Come on, Liquid Death. Don't pay any attention to this Red Bull I'm drinking whatsoever.
I can't believe that's not a rain.
It really gives you wings.
When did you switch to Red Bull?
When I drink water, I drink out of my Stanley.
Do you drink pumpkin spice out of it?
And if anybody needs the rights to anything, I just love black coffee mugs that look about smaller than my fist.
We should get some coffee mugs that have Para Theory on them and have the insides be red.
Bame Bazinga. I'm in. And when you tip them up, it goes boo. Put a little ghost down at the bottom of them so when you're drinking and your coffee disappears, it scares you. You're looking at your cup. Okay, it's enough of that. Just how was work today?
It was all right. It was work.
Yeah. Work.
How
was what?
Your work.
My work today was nothing. I did nothing today. I've been resting a foot all day.
Put it up.
I don't really want to pull it up in the camera, but yeah, I got a big old brace on my foot right now. So I've been keeping it elevated and iced down and taking all my meds and all that good stuff for it. So
what'd you do to it?
Wednesday, our band was, Johnny and I were playing at Bayou. I was loading in and I put these new inserts inside my Adidas. And before anybody bashes me, yes, I wear Adidas when I play or Chuck Taylors. Now listen, I also, if you don't know what I do music wise, come out to the show, you'll understand, but I got to feel the pedals under my feet when I'm playing, because I'm playing with both two hands singing and playing with my feet at the same time. And so with those shoes on, I can really feel the pedals under my feet, and I can use it, I can basically not be looking at them. So I put some inserts in them, some Dr. Schultz. Well, it raised my foot up a little bit too high in the shoe, and so as I'm walking, I'm doing this number, and I rolled it.
So like
do what?
You were wearing high heels, kind of?
Shut your mouth. I know where you're going. I know what you're doing. Shut that beard of yours. Anyway, I rolled my ankle, and then Friday, went and met up with a friend for lunch. It was already sore. And stepping off a curb, I'll be damned if I didn't roll it again. And it popped. It was not good. And it's been swollen ever since. It's coming down today. I've kept it elevated. I've been taking my meds. I've been taking steroids and all that bullshit. So we're good. Man, last episode, we left off talking about 2 episodes that we had coming out. 1 being the Waples Plantation, and 2 being Old Faithful Lockdown.
Yep.
What's funny is Waples, I think, is sitting right now at like 1.7 views, and the baddest motherfucker of all is sitting at like 70. I'm like, shit, it hasn't caught on yet. And people do when you see it. Oh my god. So
anything to you about it?
Do what?
Has anyone said anything to you about it since they've watched it?
Nothing. No one except Presley. Yeah. Presley from the complex, after he watched it on his telly, he was like, man, he apologized because of the deal we did at Platinum Music. He was like, man, that projector screen did not do you any good. Like, didn't do you any favors. And I was like, yeah, no. And he watched it on his TV, and then he saw it. He's like, Jesus Christ, I don't want to go back in there. I guess they did an event up there on Halloween, and they had like 30 odd people come up there and spend the night in the thing. So I'd be interested in seeing if they heard anything. But then again, like Dwayne and them like decorated the place all up with lights, you know how he does. And it's like, oh, homie, you don't need all that. Just a good old creepy fucking jail with a little girl running around there's good enough for me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
fuck that. I don't want to go back in there.
Why?
Dude, what we caught in that place, I first of all, I can't explain it. I don't know how. I I have never seen anything like that.
Have you ever seen anything like that in person? Not that you caught it, but have you ever seen anything like that in person before, like that?
Like you see shit out of the corner of your eye, and it's debatable. It could have been something in your eye. You don't know if that was. When I was a kid, I thought I saw somebody run out of one door through the hallway out of the corner of my eye. It looked like a lady in like a white dress running. But my mom and dad were in the living room, and I was probably somewhere around like 7 years old. And when I was on ACUF, you know, the shit we saw there was like poltergeist. Like you would see shit moving or you'd hear shit move. And at best I saw like a black shadow in my bedroom, like coming out of my closet and going through into the living room. And that's still debatable. Like the older I get, I'm like, did I really see that? But what we caught at the Platinum Music Complex, like that to me like solidifies all of those little things that I'm like, maybe it was this, maybe it was that. It solidifies that, yes, motherfucker, that is what you saw. Like that, all those feelings came back. So all those things I suppressed down for so long from growing up with all the shit I've seen, like, yes, now the biggest one I ever saw that blew our fucking mind to this day, I want to talk about it on this episode because of that, was the Jefferson Hotel. And it's so unreal,
yeah,
that you half wonder, like, was the staff in on this? Did we get hoaxed like so fucking hard? But we know what we saw. There were 6 of us and 6 people. Like I would I called Cherokee. He doesn't want to be on this.
Oh yeah.
And just forget that. Jamie is in a whole nother world. She doesn't even live in this city anymore. I'm trying to get a phone conversation with them and talk with them about it. They don't want to be like on camera, but they may do like a phone in and tell their side of the story. Of course, Don and Icky aren't even together anymore, but Icky said he would come on and talk about it.
Oh really?
Glenda, of course, she would talk about it. So let's tell the story of the Jefferson Hotel.
I have a question first.
Okay.
So, knowing what I know about this story, when you saw what you did in the jail, did you have that same feeling as you did in that hotel? Like you knew you just saw something? Or was there still a little bit of doubt when we were in the jail that you don't know if you saw that or not? Because to me, I feel like you knew you saw something.
In the jail, I knew I saw something peek through the window.
Right.
But it seemed malicious. Like it seemed
sneaky.
Right. Like I wasn't doubting that I didn't see or didn't see something. I was more worried about our safety at that point, because I was like, okay, well, first of all, we're in a jail. There's only one way in and one way out, and I got the keys, and it's 2 big ass fucking double doors that you can hear. I mean, they're huge fucking keys. So you had to put in there and unlock the son of a bitch and push it open. And we know, like, take the key out, it'll lock. So it's like,
you're not moving those doors.
Well, you're not moving those doors, and there's no other way in. So the thoughts, as you see me like sitting there trying to figure out what the fuck just happened, I'm thinking to myself, like, don't panic, don't run, don't freak out, play this down logically, like, who the fuck got in, Has this thing been hiding in here the whole time? No, we would have heard it. Everything. It's an echo chamber in there. Everything at the littlest sound, and you fucking hear it. But from inside the room, outside of the room, bands were practicing full blown, like 6 rooms down, and we could hear like the floor tom, or we'd hear the kick drum, or we'd hear like the bass on a guitar. But when it came to something like crisp, it wasn't coming from another room, and it was in the room where they would happen. So, like walking on floor or shutting a door, we would hear that most definitely.
Yeah.
So the thing at Jefferson was, I didn't think this was paranormal. We thought this was a lady standing in the fucking hallway.
Okay.
We were coming back from dinner. We were greeted by, there's 6 of us. The fucking lights I touched the fucking woman. Like, you're not thinking paranormal. You're thinking, this lady. So, yeah. So, no. The answer is no. I mean, I wasn't feeling the same about these 2 situations. One was one way, one was the other.
Okay. Yeah.
And so one is in the paranormal world. They're both in the paranormal world, but this one I didn't know about.
Right, and that's what I'm not thinking of is when you tell the story, you're not at that moment, you're not thinking paranormal versus afterwards looking back. Now you're like, holy shit, that was paranormal.
Yeah. 100%. Terrified. Like the feeling that went through me when the lady takes us up there and shows us the room.
Yeah.
Then it sat in. It sat in with fear, confusion, distrust. Did I just get played? Is this an illusion? Did somebody just pull the biggest hoax off in the fucking world? Like, how the fuck did this happen? Like, how the fuck did this happen? It scientifically makes zero sense. You cannot. It doesn't make any sense.
How many years ago was that?
That'd have been like 2011.
I was gonna say, I wonder if we go back to there, if anything would happen.
Fuck no. If it did, we wouldn't know if it was real or not because the new owners that have taken over turned it into a fucking zoo.
Oh, is that the place?
Yeah. That's the dude where Chad Kalick and I caught the guy hoaxing at 100%. Which after that, I was like, but the previous owners were like an elderly couple with a daughter, and it was so run down. It was in its original state. Like, you could tell these people were just holding on to the history of it and doing that. They weren't turning it into a fucking movie museum and putting everything in there that's just fucking decor. And he even openly admits about how he makes like items that we use in paranormal. Like he makes, REM pods and this and that. He's got contraptions in there where like they're motion sensors, like this baby doll, like head moves and follows you as you walk through the hallway. And
you have hidden cameras in there?
Hidden cameras, the whole night. And then we caught the guy fucking knocking on the roof, and it was all bullshit. We caught the guy. The guy can fight. The guy can fight it all he fucking wants. I mean, we've got it on film. If he wants to fight us on this podcast, I'd love to fucking have him on here and be like, let him talk, and then just call his bullshit. Be like, oh, you mean this footage? And then fucking throw it up in his face.
Yeah.
So we got it. I watched him go on Chad Kalick's fucking forum and just fucking talk shit to him the whole time. Just sitting there going, dude, you fucking crook. You openly fucking admitted to us that you rigged the place, and then we caught you. Like, you ruined an entire event, and you ruined the history of the Jefferson Hotel. So until you're gone and all your fucking contraptions and bullshit are out of there, ain't nobody gonna trust that motherfucker again.
Well, scratch that, because I was thinking we should go down there.
I want to go to Jefferson. I just don't want to go to back to this hotel with him in it, because I know he's full of shit. So 2011, some friends of mine and I and my wife. So Glenda, my wife, and then Cherokee and Jamie and Dawn and Icky. We all go, 6 of us. And it was on the weekend of their, what they call their Boo Fest. At the time, it was the Boo Festival. And it was like their Halloween fest. It was Halloween weekend. And Halloween, I believe, or I'm not sure if it was Halloween, but it was Halloween the weekend before, maybe it was the weekend of Halloween. I thought that the festival went on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then was done Sunday night. So we came in early Sunday morning to check in, and we were going to catch the end of the festival. And then our plan was to stay Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then come back Wednesday. And we were
Right.
going to investigate the hotel. And we got rooms 18 and 19. We wanted room, and this is really important for the story, is we wanted room 15 because room 15 was like room 15, 18, and 19 are the most haunted rooms in the hotel. Room 21 downstairs, which is weird.
Yeah.
21 that's downstairs, also severely haunted, but it was out of service. So 15 and 21 were both out of commission. When we came into the hotel, when we pulled into the town, there was no festival. It was a ghost town, no pun intended. There was nothing going on. We pull up to the hotel, we go in, and we're asking the lady, like, what happened to the festival? She goes, oh, that ended last night. She goes, you guys are coming in at a really weird time. I'm sorry y'all were expecting. I said, I thought it went through Sunday night. And then, like, Sunday night was the big hoorah, or the ending of it. She goes, nope, that was last night. Sorry. And then she warned us. She was like, you're going to be hard pressed to find food, and stuff in town because everyone's pretty much sold out of everything. And I was like, oh, great. So there's no like walk down to the corner store and get a drink or, whatever. And so she tells us, and it's two ladies, and she says, okay, so you're the only ones that are checking. She said, you're the only ones that are staying with us tonight through Wednesday night. And so we leave after 5 o'clock. And I said, say again. They're like, oh no, we don't stay here after dark. And I was like, any particular reason why? She goes, we have our reasons. We just don't want to be here after dark. I said, okay, is there something we need to know? She goes, just, be careful. If you have any issues, call 911. Like, not call the front desk, not report it to anybody in the hotel. Call the police.
You're just by yourself after a certain time.
Yeah. After 5, it's our hotel and there's nobody else staying there. I said, is there anybody already checked in? She goes, no. I said, well, we're, we were wanting to investigate our rooms. That's why we wanted to get 15, 18, and 19. We reserved 18 and 19 because it says 21 and 15 are out of commission. He said, yes, 21 and 15 are under construction for a water leak. I said, oh. I said, okay, so in 18, it had 2 beds, and in 19, it was 1 bed. So Icky and Don stayed in 19, and then the rest of us stayed in 18. And 18 was like kind of run down. We're talking like old, like pipe bedding. Like, you know what I mean? Like the balls on the corner and the brass bar going across the footboard, the headboard, and the mattresses were really stiff, and there was one like nightstand in between you, and then there was like dresser down at the end stuck on one wall, and it had like this old Zenith TV on it, and then it had like a chandelier like you would see in your kitchen, like over your table, like one of those old golden chandeliers that was all like corroded. And she goes, the lady at the front, she goes, are you sure you want to stay in 18 and 19? Like, we have nicer rooms like that are available. I said, well, we've been told that these are the 4 most haunted rooms in the hotel. She goes, oh, they're active, just not very nice. Your room is not very nice. 18 is not going to be very nice.
Okay.
I said, why? She goes, well, we can't keep it clean. We try, but whatever's in there is very destructive. I was like, okay, well, that's kind of what we want. We want to catch this. And so we check in, and then it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And so we're like, okay, well, let's find somewhere to eat. And she wasn't bullshitting. Everything was like sold out of food. And so we had to go into town, out of Jefferson, into somewhere other town to find food. We found a Whataburger, got some food, come back to the hotel, and we had gotten a case of beer, and We're all just kind of hanging out on the first night, and we had the mag lights, and we're all in room 18 hanging out. Icky and Cherokee and I got some cigars, and we were gonna go sit out on the balcony on the front, smoke cigars while the girls are talking or whatever. And we set those mag lights up side by side out of the package on the dresser where the TV was at. They hadn't done shit for hours. It was like 2 or 3 hours. And then we all got in that same room. We're having drinks. We're cutting up and laughing. And then Icky's the one that was like, all right, if there's somebody here that wants to make communication with us, just walk over and touch one of those lights. You just barely turn it and it'll turn on. And boom, that fucker came on. And we were able to get both to come on at the same time. One for yes, one for no, answering immediately. This went on for like 20 minutes. And this is the first time I've ever seen the mag lights really work.
Oh, really?
And I'm like just blown out of the water with this. And so this keeps going on and on and on. And then I was like, man, I got to go smoke a cigarette. I got to chill the fuck out. My nerves, like my anxiety, everything went through the roof. And as I go to stand up to leave the room, these things start strobing like they're going nuts. And then after that stopped, it went quiet. Like didn't have anything else happen with flashlights the remainder of the time we were there.
Yeah.
Not a flicker, not a nothing on both of these. Brand new, directly out of the package that you got to cut through the mag light and get it out. It's got the holder for it and fucking put the battery in, brand new. And so Monday comes and Don and Icky both said that in their room that he slept like a baby, but she was freezing cold. And she kept getting up and turning the air up because it was freezing cold in the room. And Icky was like, honey, it is not cold in here. It's hot and I am sweating. So he turned the air back down. They were fighting over it all night. And we found some stuff about that later on after we left, and I'll get back to that. And so in our room, we didn't have really anything happen. And so we decided on Monday during the day that we're going to go venturing around Jefferson. And that's when we looked at the Grove and the old Witch's Tabernacle. And we went up to the church up there that was closed down due to worshiping of nothing Christian going on there.
Yeah.
And we went over and checked out the Excelsior House and went over and just checked out all downtown, just went walking through there. We spent the majority of the day out. And then we went and had food somewhere. Some restaurant finally had some food. And we lucked out. We got to sit down and have a home cooked meal from this restaurant. And then we came back. And it was, at this time, it was probably around like 7:45, 8 o'clock. It's like the sun had just gone down, right? And we're coming back to the hotel. We had a game plan of what we were going to do. We were going to split up in groups, and we were going to take the bottom floor. Girls were going to take the top floor. Oh, and the thing I left out is that they gave us keys to like a skeleton key for like all the rooms. Like in case we decided we wanted to investigate these other rooms, we could. We were just not to touch the beds.
That's cool.
We could go and investigate the rooms. So the girls are going to take the top floor. We're going to take the bottom floor. Well, the skeleton key didn't work on 15. We tried that on Monday night or Sunday night when we first got there, and it didn't work on 21 either. So they had that like locked up.
Yeah.
Like you're not going in here, right? And so I was like, well, that's kind of crazy. They'd have a skeleton key to fucking every door, but then just hold these two tight. Like, well, they hand out skeleton keys all the fucking time in this place. Like, didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
As what I'm about to get into doesn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. So we get back from dinner and we come up the stair, little tiny stairwell, and we get up to the top of it, and it kind of turns left and right. And our rooms are on the left, and room 15 is on the right. Okay. The way they had the layout of the rooms was really fucking weird up there. Like it just, the numbers didn't make sense. Like where 18 and 19 were, but where 20 and 20 were and 21 were downstairs, like and 22, like it didn't make any sense. And there's 30 rooms in the hotel, I believe. I could be wrong with that, but I think it's 30 rooms total. So we come up the stairs and there's an old lady standing in the hallway with the door open to room 15. It's an elderly, she's got to be in her late 60s, early 70s, somewhere in there. And she's got like a moo on, and she's got her hair in curlers and like in a cap pulled back, sweet Southern Belle accent, sweet as she could be. She had to be all of like 5'1", 5 foot, maybe shorter. And she's like, excuse me, do y'all have a child that's running up and down the hallway? Because it's keeping my husband and I awake. I said, no, ma'am. I said, I'm Justin. And I stuck my hand out and shook her hand. She like took my hand, like held my hand and was like holding on to my hand. Sweet as she could possibly be. I felt really bad. Because I was thinking in my head, like, man, these people must have checked in last minute, got something online, like, something.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, there's a child. It sounds like a little girl. She's running up and down the hallway. She's yelling, and she keeps knocking on our door and taking off running. And it's really keeping us awake. We've been traveling for days. We're tired and we're exhausted. We just need sleep. This is my husband in here. And she turns. She's still holding my hand, and with her other hand, turns and like, this is my husband. And I peek in the door. I let go of her hand. I walk in the room, and he's like, oh, hello. And he's got like glasses on, but it's like down his nose, and he's kind of looking over like this at me. And he's got like a toboggan on and like blue
Like
and white pinstripe pajamas.
you have like a sleeping cap on.
Yeah, like a sleeping cap that where like kind of has a little ball that comes over to the side, like a Santa Claus hat, but a sleeping cap.
Right.
I walk up to the bed and shake his hand. And I'm thinking, the thing that went through my head as I got in the room was, holy fuck, we got gypped on our room. I'm thinking in my head, like, man, she said nice room, but god damn, like, this is nice. Like, huge, glorious, like Victorian 4-post bed, huge fucking risers going up, velvet red walls going all around, gold trim. And above the bed head mantle, there's a big, like, huge mirror. And I could see the reflection of the bathroom in the mirror that's in front of the bed. And it's this huge porcelain, like gold, like above ground, what do they call them? 12-foot bathtubs. Isn't that what they call them?
Like claw tubs.
Yeah. Like it's huge. Like you could fit two of me in there. Like I'm a big dude, 6'7". I'm looking at this thing going, motherfucker. Like, because I don't get to take baths. I have to take showers. Like, I don't get to take a bath and just relax in hot water because bathtubs don't fit my big ass. Like a normal bathtub's like for my feet. Like, as where you could probably do backstrokes on them motherfuckers. Yeah, I know. So I'm thinking, man, we got gypped on the room. But damn, this is nice. And good to meet you, sir. Yeah, we don't have any children. It's just the six of us. We were told that there was nobody staying here. And then like a record. She's like, well, we've been traveling for days and we're just really tired. And, she kind of pauses and then that's when I interject. And I was like, ma'am, I can assure you, if there is any children here, we'll find out who it is and we'll get them to stop running up and down the hall. Y'all just go to sleep and get some rest. Sorry for everything. And, we're right across the hall. If you need anything, we're in 18 or 19 because we've been traveling for days and we're tired and we're exhausted. Yeah. I said, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So she's like, okay, good night, and shuts the door. And I look at the guys and I look at their wives. And I'm like, I thought there was nobody in. I thought 15 was like under construction. Like a skeleton key didn't even fucking work for that thing. So ghost hunting just kind of went off the table. So upstairs. So we went downstairs and we didn't find anything. We didn't have anything happen downstairs. Creepy, yes. Haunted, no idea.
Yeah.
Next morning, now it's Tuesday morning, and I go downstairs to get some coffee. And the ladies are back. They come in the mornings, change their sheets, and make coffee and whatever. So I go down and get some coffee. And I see the lady I was talking to. I go, hey, I thought you said that we were going to be the only people staying in here till Wednesday. She goes, you are. I was like, no, there's a couple that checked in, I guess yesterday, been traveling for a long time. And she goes, elderly couple. And I go, yeah. And she goes, been traveling for days, extremely tired, complaining about a child running up and down the hallway. And I go, yes, exactly that. And she goes, let me show you something. And she grabs another key, takes me up to room 15. She goes, right here? I go, yeah, right here. She goes, let me show you something. And she unlocks the door and opens it. And there is no red velvet walls. There is no bed. There is no bathroom. There is no gold trim. There's not even fucking walls. It's just exposed. The framing is exposed. There's a huge hole in the center of the floor where you could see where it had water rot.
Oh, damn.
And they were cutting it out. There was no floor. There was zero floor. You could see all the way down to the next room, which down below them looked like what used to be like a washroom or a work area.
Yeah.
Down below.
I thought you were going to say 21 was below it.
No. 21 would have been below our room, or in between 19 and 18, like below that. And so I'm standing there going, there's no fucking way. Like I'm stepping back, looking down the hallway, looking left, right, trying to figure out like what my mind is trying to process. I didn't dream this.
Yeah, you said.
So I frantic, like I panic. I'm like, hold on one second. And I'm like, Glenda, get over here. Like I'm knocking on the door right there. I'm like, get out here. Look at this shit. Like, am I nuts? And like the doors open and they look in the room and they see the hole. And I'm like, this is the same fucking room, isn't it? Like I'm panicking. And everyone's pale white. Like everybody. Here comes Icky and Don running up. And they're like, oh my God. Like, I'm like, and I'm like trying to put it together. I'm like, when we came up the stairs from dinner last night, what happened? And then Icky was like, we were greeted by an elderly lady that was bitching about the child running up and down the hall. And I looked over at Cherokee and he's like, and you shook her hand and I shook her hand. I think we all shook her hand. And you went in the room. Your big ass went in that room and shook the gentleman's hand. I remember watching you do it. And I was like, riddle me this, motherfucker. How did I just float across this gigantic fucking hole in the middle of a room?
That's insane.
We got our shit and got the fuck out of there.
You left a day early?
We left in the next like 20 minutes. We were gone. We were all feeling sick after that happened. Like we were all sick to our stomachs.
Oh, really?
Like we're all sitting there going, no one's ever going to believe us. We didn't have any cameras running. I mean, what did the locals put fucking acid in their fucking food? And we all just, 6 of us just magically had the same fucking illusion at the exact same fucking time in the exact same fucking place at the exact same fucking hotel room at the exact same fucking hotel. No, there's no fucking way. Did we walk through a matrix or some portal and bullshit? No, we didn't. We walked through the door of the hotel and went upstairs. And there was supposed to be nobody there, and we were going to gather cameras up so that we could start placing them everywhere and start investigating. And that's what we agreed with.
Something didn't want you investigating.
And then what's even fucking more weird is like now the Jefferson that's run by this douchebag is all the rooms are different. They're numbered different now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're all numbered different. They're still not in an order. They're just numbered weirdly all the way down. Like where 15 is, it's not 15 anymore. It's like 20 something. Where 18 and 19 are at, they're still the same. 18 looks exactly like it did when we stayed in there.
Oh, really?
Oh, that was the other thing. When we got back that Monday, no, that Tuesday night that Monday night when we got back, when we opened the door Monday, no, it wasn't Monday, it was Tuesday. We woke up, they cleaned, and we had all gone to lunch and decided whether we were going to stay or go. Yeah, all right, that's what it was. We left in like 20 minutes, went down and had coffee downstairs. We didn't leave. And then we decided we were going to go. When we got back upstairs, like the bathroom and our bathroom was a wreck. There was shit everywhere. Like all our towels and shit got pulled out. All the folded ones were, and I was getting on to Jamie and Clinda. I was like, did y'all fucking trash the bathroom this morning? Goddamn. Like, we got to use fucking towels too. And they're like, we didn't do that. And I was like, whatever, But at this point, I was just like, some of the that is the shit you want to catch on film.
Yeah.
That happened, and all of us just fucking froze in fear when we saw that, and in shock and all, just trying to figure out what the fuck did we just witness.
Yeah.
How did we witness this? How is this even fucking possible?
I wonder how many times it's been seen.
Well, obviously, I mean, the fucking lady downstairs knows the whole goddamn story. So I guess there's a lot of people that have seen it, but I've looked for stories on it and can't find anything. Now you can find the stories of the old lady, but not the room is under construction part.
Oh, okay.
You can find stories on the kid that runs up and down the hallway and like takes pins and stuff and buttons and little things and like steals them from your room and misplaces them. And,
oh, really?
Yeah, you can find all those stories. Or the one about 18, about that was the groom's room, and the honeymoon suite was 19, and how the groom went out to pick flowers for the morning of his wedding with the bride. And there was a train coming, and he was riding his horseback, and he was trying to beat the train, and he didn't beat the train beat him, and he got run over by the train. And then the bride thought that he left her on the morning of the wedding, and she hung herself from the chandelier inside the honeymoon suite, which is a huge, at the time, it was like a huge gaudy chandelier. And so she hung herself from that. And then the paranormal story, or the ghost story about that room, is that she haunts that room and is trying to freeze out the woman and make her uncomfortable to get her to leave to be with the man.
Oh, wow.
And we found that out after we left there. We didn't know that going in.
Oh, that's crazy. So that explains why she was cold and he wasn't.
Correct. Right. So, yeah, man. I mean, so compare that to Platinum. Platinum is the thing is that we caught it.
Yeah.
We were there doing paranormal. We were there searching for something paranormal. But what comes in the frame in that window, still fucking mind-blowing. 100%. And not just that, though. Like, that's the big kahuna of the video. But, like, even the part where where you and I are doing the spirit box, and we're in the central ground of the jail, and then that fucking face that it just appears back here, and it just sits here forever. Like dude with a beard. And you could, and then the fucking shadow of movement that's moving on the wall, and we find out that it's not you moving, it's not me moving. There's nothing else moving in there.
And it wasn't.
Do what?
Moving like I could move.
No, I mean there was a camera on you. If you had moved it, that camera would have saw you move.
I'm saying the way it moved, I couldn't do that.
Oh yeah, it like did this. I can't. It was like a snake. How I can't even do it.
That's what I'm saying.
It's weird. And then the spirit box calling out, my name. Well, we had the deal say Justin, and that wasn't even on the spirit box. You could just clearly hear that in the jail, but we couldn't hear it with our own ears. We had to catch it back on audio. Or the little girl laughing, agreeing with you. Remember that part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked you if that was your diaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig's fucking with me. There was some diapers left in this one jail. He goes, "Is that where you store your diapers at? Or is that where you left yours?" And I'm laughing, and you hear this little girl go, "Yeah." Fuck.
She had to
And,
be
huh?
pretty close to us.
I mean, dude, she had to be standing right fucking there, as clear as that was.
Yeah. Was it on the camera or the lav mic?
It was on your lav mic and your camera, because I had to combine the audios to get it clearer.
That's crazy.
So she was probably standing there looking through your camera as what you're looking at, like intrigued, like, what's he looking at?
Yeah.
And since you look like a child with a beard anyway, she's like, I can get along with this guy. This giant dude scaring the shit out of me.
And he's scared of this giant. You'll see when he runs.
If you guys did watch the Waples plantation video, thank you so much. If you guys did watch Lockdown, thank you so much. But I got a pop quiz for you, and you guys can leave it in the comments. And in the next, let's see, it is 6:15 on Monday, the 4th of November. By November 6th, I'm going to announce a winner. One, if you can tell me the song lyrics that Craig sings while we're in the Waples plantation. And two, if you can tell me I'm trying to think of a good one here for platinum.
Man, that night kind of just.
No, I had an idea, and I was like, shit.
Even though we caught the face, the most memorable part for me was I'd never been in like that interrogation room. That was a different level of loud, being so quiet in there.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you said, it was just deafening in there. But it was, I can't even explain it. But I remember that feeling in there. It was ridiculous.
I got it. If you can tell me what family member of mine had anything to do with Northwestern Hills, with that jail, if you can tell me that, and what's in the lyrics to the song that Craig was singing in Waples, I'm gonna leave it in the comments. I'm gonna leave it in the comments of this podcast, and I'm going to announce a winner by November 6th, and I will get with you. Send me a PayPal. It's gonna be worth your time. But yeah, dude, that investigation, man, was it's on. Well, it's made me rethink. Like, well, one, it confirmed everything from all these years of thinking about it, wondering, is this real? Are we imagining this? Is it bullshit? Is it something really happening? It answered all those questions.
Yeah.
So, where do we go from here? Do we continue to ghost hunt? Yep. Do we, what is it that we're trying to catch now? More of that?
I would say more, and then test some of the theories of other like old tales and stuff to see if we can see how they work or prove how they work.
I could see that. I think the next step in the paranormal field, and I think what everybody's reaching for, is how to make connection 100% with the other side. I mean, you look at guys like Huff Paranormal, et cetera, in the scientific world of it, are trying to create something to be able to make connection with this energy and intelligently talk to it, not just in riddles and through radios and, like actually establish connection and talk to them.
Right.
How can we do that? And what tools can we challenge ourselves with to do that? And I swear by this. I always say analog is better.
Yeah.
The less is more factor. I think using phones and apps and stuff like that is just, we've tried it a couple times and it's always just scribbled bullshit. You can make a mountain out of a molehill with that real quick. And unfortunately, there are other paranormal groups out there that they fucking make their nut off of using the app. That's it. You get 5 minutes into their video, they're like, well, we have the Spirit Talker app and we're going to use this. It's like, immediately, I just lose. I'm out. Using a shortwave radio, playing the audio in reverse coming out, and then you hearing the voice come through, and that voice coming through several times, being clear as day and understanding what it's saying, relevant to the question that you're asking, is awesome. But it doesn't happen every time. Sometimes it just sits there and forever. We don't hear shit. So
I think I would still like to do where we do an Ovilus and the PS device and see if we can get them to both answer the same thing.
See, I think that's a cool idea. I think it's a really cool idea. I'm going to pick us up at the new Ovilus within the next month. I got some things I got to get paid for, but I do want to pick that new Ovilus up. But I think that would be a great idea, putting them side by side and seeing if we can get them to say, because they're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So why can't we get it on both? That's more narrowing it down. I want to stay away from cat balls this year.
I want to get a new REM pod, and then I think another REM pod like the Boo Bear or something like that. Something for a kids more.
I've been really liking these EMF ropes.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. So the EMF rope is pretty cool. It's just a long cord, and if anything crosses over it, it'll turn a different color in the area that it's crossing.
Oh, okay.
But I have an idea with that.
Yeah.
I think they're like 6 feet. So I want to mark it in feet. Right. So I want to put a piece of tape around it at the 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot, etc. And I want to mark them as I'm telling them, this is 1 foot, this is 2 foot, this is 3 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot. Can you touch the 1 foot part of it? Can you cross right here and get it to cross in that area? Instead of it just randomly lighting up patterns. You know what I mean?
Or see if it'll come close to you.
Right. Totally. And then I think the venture past that would be to not just have one rope, but to have 4 of them and line them up in rows and see if it comes at you.
Oh yeah.
And I think too that we're on to something with the motion sensor lights.
I would like to get one of the music boxes.
Yeah, the music box was great. That motion sensor is not too sensitive.
Yeah,
well, it picks up to 6 feet out in front of you. You got to have it level, and to have that thing ding, 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 on cue.
Yeah.
So I think that's where we go. I think we try and narrow down the communication lines. Also, for places that have high, that we've had high EVPs in, for the radio, etc. I think it'd be really cool to bring in a friend of mine, but is also a skeptic, because for as much shit that we catch with audio, I'd like to bring in Leighton Autry and set up some ribbon mics and do some audio work where he can intensify the microphone, but to where we know it's going to pick up, all the way around it, but to where we know we clear the building, and we'll have all the static cams set up proving that we're not in the building, that we are outside, we're far away from this thing, and it's not going to pick up what is outside.
Right.
And even do some vocal testing saying This is me in the room. This is us walking around. You're clearly going to hear it. This is us leaving the room. And once I get 10 foot out past the door, I'm going to yell so that way you know it's my voice. This is Craig's voice. Hey, hey. This is Leighton's voice. Hey, hey. And we're all outside and we're going to be listening to like studio monitor speakers.
Okay.
And see if we can get this thing to talk to us by leaving a like a walkie-talkie, like how you do an Estes session. Leave a walkie-talkie inside there and we'll ask questions through the walkie-talkie. Or hell, fuck, dude, we could even put like a miniature PA speaker in there and just have a microphone hooked to it. We're gonna do it that way. And talk through the speaker and ask questions clearly as it's coming through and see if it answers in the room on the mic. And what we can do is, instead of having one ribbon mic set up in the room, let's take like the Cranfield house, for example. We could be out in the barn. A ribbon mic is like one mic that you can hear all the way around it, like 360, all the way around. It picks up everything. As where a mic like this is directional, but if you're over here, see what I'm saying? Like this is the directional. So put a ribbon mic in the living room, put a ribbon mic upstairs, put one down in the kitchen.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? And then put a speaker, like a small PA speaker in the house that's going to allow us to talk through it. And then we just hit record and record it on a wavelength. And we can see in real time audio spikes come through if something's talking back to us.
Yeah.
Because they'll be set so fucking sensitive that if you snapped your fingers in there, it'd be like, pew, it'd be a huge spike.
Okay.
I think that's that's one way to test it.
Yeah.
Because obviously they like using airwaves to talk through. So that's, if not Leighton, maybe have Gary Hewlett. I know he's wanting to come out with us on one of them from Texas Live.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, we've got all the gear I've got all the mics to do it.
Okay. I was going to say, I don't have any of those mics.
No, I got this for the recording studio.
Oh. I also wouldn't mind getting a Connect.
Oh, for like the maps out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think using a Connect to do investigations, you just got to be aware of what that thing is doing. Like it is mapping out the room, right? So anything that remotely takes the shape of a human form, it's going to try and map out head, neck, shoulders, arms, elbows, hands, feet, knees, waist, the whole nine. But where a lot of people go wrong with the Connect is like they'll point it at a bed. And at first, when that grid comes across and it hits the bed, it'll pick up corners and it looks like something like all scribbled and it's sitting there doing this shit on the bed and it's all weird. Yeah. And it's, oh, something's on the bed. Something's on the bed. Oh, no, it's gone. Now it's on the lamp. Now it's over here. It's like, oh, man. Unless you see a fucking straight up and down stick figure, 1 and 2 with 1 and 2 and a head, count it out.
Yeah.
Be correct. Be on it. You know, don't jump at the first, because it's also picking up heat, just like a what do you call it, the heat signature gun. Like it's picking up heat signatures, cold signatures. It can pick your shadow up on a wall, or if you're leaning against the wall and you step away from it, it can map that out too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, totally.
There was another box that we had looked at too. I can't remember the name of it though.
There's the Geophone that are like $2,000, $3,000.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's made by Huff. And he only makes so many of those. I'd love to fucking use one of those, man. It's basically our spirit box on steroids.
Oh, really?
Dude, yeah. Yeah. He only makes so many of those a year, and then that's it. So,
Portal.
Oh, what's it called?
Portal? Yeah, there's a Paraforce Portal version 5 and then a Portal J. And then there's a Portal Micro.
I'd be interested in looking into those.
I just sent you a link to that page.
All right. Yeah, I'd be interested in looking at that for sure.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I think
played out a little bit.
Yeah, totally.
But I think the flashlights have always done good, but I do think also doing the other stuff as well, getting another music box, because do they all have the same tone, or can you get them? Yeah,
As far as I know, yeah, that one like that from that maker has the same tone.
some.
Now there is one from Paraforce that makes a
Yeah,
music box.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I wonder what that tune sounds like, because it's the same. It's the same company that makes the coffin one.
Yep,
Different tone. If they have the same sensitivities, it'd be good because you could have one in one area and then one in the other. You know which area to go to.
that's a good call.
Have them dip.
There's also several tests you can run with those, like being able to, like, if you're getting responses off of one, you could set another one up next to it. Be like, can you make this one go off as well? You know, set both of them off, kind of deal.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. I think also in the places we investigate is staying away from the the places like we talked about before, where it's like, you know, the big, huge, rundown buildings that are fucking asbestos and just shit everywhere and stink like to high heaven, and you're not gonna fucking know what's in there. You can't. I mean, then you have a smaller home or you have a smaller place you're at, you definitely fucking know what's going down. You know your surroundings. Even if you're unfamiliar with it, you still kind of get the idea.
Yeah.
You know, not too small. Like Cranfield was pretty fucking small. You
Yeah.
know, family home, it's about right. Something like that. Not that nice, but I'm just saying that size.
Yeah.
You know, something to think about. If you got a place out there that is having paranormal activity, or if you need answers to whatever it is that you are not figuring out that's in this place, give us a shout at justinrossbooking.com or paratheory@gmail.com.
Fans.
Is it paratheory fan? Okay. Paratheoryfan@gmail.com. I don't know why I can't remember that. And so, yeah, send it there. Join us on Facebook. Make sure you follow us over there. Like and subscribe to the page. We cannot do this without you. We moved over here because you guys wanted us to. And so far, man, you guys have not let us down. Thank you so much for all the support. We're going to keep pushing out these things. And next week, we're going to be talking about some things that have happened to old Craig over here. So make sure you stay tuned. Come in on that. And guys, be safe out there this week. I know it's a very important week. So you guys be safe out there. Take care, and we'll see you soon.